Welcome to Tech Monetize Official. We're so glad you're here, taking the first step toward a brighter financial future. Today, we're tackling a topic that impacts everyone, no matter your age, background, or income: inflation. Inflation might sound complex or intimidating, but understanding it is the very first step to protecting your financial future and making your money work for you. The world of finance can seem exclusive or overwhelming, but our goal is to break down big ideas into simple, actionable steps that anyone can follow. You don't need a finance degree or years of experience to make smart choices. Just the right information, a willingness to learn, and a bit of curiosity. Think of your financial life like a house, strong and full of potential. Inflation is the slow, steady rain that can quietly weaken your foundation if you're not prepared to protect it. Many people ignore inflation because it doesn't feel urgent, but its effects add up over time, quietly eroding your purchasing power and savings. By being here, you're choosing to inspect and reinforce your financial foundation, making sure it stands strong no matter what the economy brings. We'll give you the practical tools, tips, and knowledge you need to protect what you've worked hard to earn and build a secure future. Remember, knowledge is power. Today, you're powering up your financial life and taking control of your money story. Let's promise to face our finances with courage, curiosity, and a commitment to take action, no matter where we're starting from. Your money should serve you, not the other way around. You deserve to feel confident and in control. Ready to become the master of your money and build a future you're proud of? Let's get started together. What is inflation? Imagine you buy a pizza for $10 today, but next year the same pizza costs $11. That's inflation. Your money buys less over time. Prices for goods and services rise and your purchasing power drops. It's a silent process happening every day. You see it in higher grocery bills, gas prices, and movie tickets. It's not just companies raising prices. It's a larger economic force. As production costs rise, companies charge more, and that's inflation at work. Think of inflation as a slow leak in a tire. Ignore it, and eventually you can't go anywhere. Over years, inflation can seriously erode your savings. That's why you can't afford to ignore it. Understanding inflation is the first step to protecting your finances. Recognize it, and you can start planning to fight back. Stay with us to learn how to protect your wealth. Now that you know what inflation is, let's dig deeper into how it quietly chips away at your savings, often without you even noticing. Let's talk about why simply holding onto cash can actually be a risky move for your financial future. Whether you stash cash under your mattress or keep it in a low-interest savings account, its value is quietly slipping away every single day because of inflation. Picture this. If inflation is running at 3% a year, your money is losing purchasing power even if the amount stays the same. That means your $1,000 today will only buy what $970 could a year ago. Over several years, this effect compounds, and your savings can lose a significant chunk of their real value. The number printed on your bills doesn't change, but what you can actually buy with them keeps shrinking. Many people believe that holding cash is the safest option, but in reality, it's exposed to the slow, guaranteed erosion caused by inflation. Inflation acts like a hidden tax, eating away at your money's value year after year, no matter how carefully you guard it. True financial safety isn't just about protecting your cash, it's about making your money grow faster than inflation can erode it. So stop thinking of money as just cash sitting idle in your wallet or bank account. Instead, start seeing it as a tool, a resource that should be put to work for you, helping you build and preserve your wealth. Money that just sits around is actually shrinking in value, losing its power to help you achieve your goals. Once you accept this truth, you can start looking for smarter, more effective ways to store and grow your wealth. The key is to find assets, like stocks, real estate, or even gold, that have the potential to hold or increase their value over time, shielding you from inflation's bite. That's exactly what we'll explore in the next chapter, so you can take control of your financial future. If you're finding this helpful, make sure to subscribe for more practical tips and strategies. Now let's move on and discover the best inflation-fighting assets for your money. If cash isn't the answer, what is? Enter physical assets. Physical assets are real, tangible items, like real estate, gold, or collectibles that hold value. Real estate is a classic example. Homes and land often rise in value with inflation. Precious metals like gold and silver have been stores of value for centuries. When people worry about paper money, they often turn to gold. Collectibles, rare coins, art, classic cars can also be valuable inflation hedges. The key is limited supply and consistent demand. Physical assets aren't tied to the daily swings of the stock market. Their value comes from their usefulness, rarity, or physical properties. When inflation drives up costs, existing durable goods often become more valuable. That's why physical assets can protect your wealth from inflation. Let me share my first step into physical assets. I saw my savings losing value to inflation and decided to act. I didn't have enough for real estate or gold bars, so I started small, with silver coins. I spent weeks researching bullion coins versus collectibles, learning the basics. I chose bullion coins for their simplicity and direct link to silver prices. Finding a reputable dealer was crucial. I looked for positive reviews and transparency. After careful research, I bought a few American silver eagles. The process felt different from buying stocks, more tangible, more real. When the coins arrived, holding them was empowering. It was a small but concrete step to protect my money from inflation. Starting small made the process manageable and less intimidating. That first purchase was my entry into the world of inflation-fighting assets. Anyone can take this step with the right knowledge. After buying my silver coins, the hardest part was waiting. Physical assets aren't about quick profits. They're about long-term protection. As prices for groceries and cars rose, I felt reassured knowing my silver was holding value. Silver's price tends to move with inflation, preserving my purchasing power. I checked prices occasionally, but my focus was on stability, not spikes. If silver rose 3% while inflation was 3%, my asset did its job. My cash lost value, but my silver held steady. This defensive strategy brought peace of mind. With physical assets, you're protecting what you have, not chasing risky returns. It's a powerful way to reduce financial anxiety. After a year, I checked my silver coin's value. Inflation was 4%, so cash lost 4% of its power. My silver's value rose 5%, beating inflation by 1%. I didn't get rich, but I preserved and slightly grew my purchasing power. The goal wasn't speculation, but protection. Compared to cash, my physical asset performed exactly as intended. This success gave me confidence to keep using tangible assets as a hedge. You don't need to be a financial expert. Simple, ancient forms of wealth can be effective. Anyone willing to learn and act can use this strategy. It's about shielding your money from inflation, not chasing big wins. This approach is accessible and practical for everyone. For more on my journey, subscribe to Tech Monetize Official. Let's keep building financial security together. Physical assets like gold, real estate, and collectibles have both advantages and drawbacks that every investor should consider. These tangible items have been trusted for generations, and their appeal is easy to understand. You can see and touch what you own. The biggest pro is their ability to protect against inflation. When the value of money drops, physical assets like gold often retain their worth, acting as a shield for your wealth. When cash loses value, real estate, gold, and collectibles often hold steady or even increase in price, making them a reliable store of value during uncertain times. They offer a sense of security. You own something real, not just digital numbers on a screen. Plus, diversification is another key benefit, helping to spread risk across different asset types. Physical assets can balance out risks from stocks or cash, providing stability to your portfolio. But there are important cons to keep in mind. Liquidity is a major challenge. It's much harder to sell a house or rare coin quickly compared to stocks or digital assets, which can be sold in seconds. That's why you should never put emergency funds into physical assets. They're best suited for long-term storage, not quick access. Ownership comes with ongoing costs. Maintenance, insurance, storage, and transaction fees can add up over time, eating into your returns. You'll also need a secure place to keep valuables, and buying or selling often involves extra steps and expenses. From appraisals to security, physical assets require responsible ownership and careful planning to manage them effectively and avoid costly mistakes. They're not a set-and-forget investment. Regular attention and management are needed to protect your investment. So always weigh the pros and cons before deciding if physical assets fit your overall investment strategy and personal goals. Diversify wisely, seek professional advice if needed, and plan for the long term to make the most of your physical assets. Now let's move on to practical tips for getting started with physical asset investing. Ready to explore physical assets? Here are my top tips. First, educate yourself. Learn about the asset you're interested in before buying. Take your time. Knowledge is your best defense against mistakes or scams. Start small. Begin with a manageable investment to limit risk and build confidence. Always buy from reputable sources. Look for established dealers with good reviews. Avoid deals that seem too good to be true. Pay a little more for peace of mind and authenticity. Plan secure storage before you buy. Use a safe or bank deposit box for valuables. For larger items, storage is part of the asset itself. Security is your responsibility. Don't overlook it. Think long-term and be patient. For more tips, subscribe to Monetize Official. Wishing you success on your journey to financial security.